Well, Sauce Walka is finally breaking his silence following the loss of his artist Sayso P. Sauce Walka and Sayso P were outside of a hotel in downtown Memphis, where Sayso P is from, and some men ran up on him, and Sayso P lost his life. Sauce Walka was grazed in the leg. He is expected to make a full recovery. On his Instagram account, Sauce had this to say about mourning Sayso P. For those who don't know, Sauce Walka is still in Memphis. He's been in Memphis the past few days following this Braves attack. He said, "Words or tears can't explain the loss I feel. Splat, I wish your fat A listened to me and stayed in the room. I told you we could smoke that after security and the rest of the familiar pull up. So some man told you that we wait till we leave and then hit Superior first. You was always hard-headed though. But you know, I'm gonna ride with you regardless. I wish we just would have went to DR with Shimmy and shot off and skipped this trip to Memphis, but you was too excited. I finally agreed to come to Memphis with you. It had been 4 years since you were brought to the TSL family. We did everything together. I did all I could to change your lifestyle from Miami to all 50 states. We've been mashing and splashing together, P. I learned a lot from you, young spiller, and I thank you for all the loyalty and support, city to city, hood to hood, with them sticks, rack hustling. You left Earth as a rich young boss. You left this Earth happy and successful. I'm gonna make sure the world knows who you really are. But unfortunately, most our kings and bosses are at war with each other. I hope one day we all stop taking lives from our community and actually start to enjoy and build better futures for our cultures. But the streets are the streets, so I'm gonna accept what came with being your brother." So that's Sauce Walka explaining kind of why he decided to fulfill all of his obligations that he did in Memphis. A lot of people were looking at that as tasteless, tacky in nature, that he hung around and, you know, did a drop for Superior, pulled up to the Superior store in Memphis, a very popular clothing store in Memphis, and he did an interview, it looks like, with my guy Wicked Films, who's a big deal in Memphis, one of the biggest videographers to come out of the South ever. Looks like Sauce still did an interview that Sayso P wanted him to do with Wicked Films and Boxed In. It's a big deal, by the way. It did look away, if I'm being completely honest, with you outside looking in. But Sauce is explaining, and he doesn't have to explain himself to anybody. He's letting people know, you know, I'm mourning my loss. But this is what Sayso P wanted me to do. Despite everything that's happened, I'm gonna fulfill my obligations like a boss and like Sayso P would have wanted me to do. Some people gonna say, I get it. Some gonna be like, still tacky in nature. It just kind of depends on where you side on the spectrum. I would say this: God forbid I'm signed to an artist and my untimely demise happens. I want you to go sit down somewhere though. I want you to get far away, go home. All right. I want you to mourn me at least until I'm under the ground. All right. Like, it just looks bad optically if you just are able to move on so quickly, even if the artist would have wanted it that way, right? Like, it can't be both. You can't pop online and be able to be so playful in your posts and talk about how Sayso P was hard-headed, right? Or that the artist was hard-headed, right? Like, that tells me you guys were really locked in. But then doing press and doing your media obligations, in my mind, make it seem like you guys were just in business together, right? It can't, in my world, it can't be both. So again, prayers to Sayso P's family during this terrible time. They had a young generational wealth maker taken from them at age 27, and that's just unfortunate. And you can listen to Sauce Walka allude to some things, and I don't know if he's gonna go any further than that in the Boxed In interview with Wicked, but clear as day, he's of the mindset that Sayso P was hard-headed for staying in Memphis and going back to Memphis. I think he had moved to Texas with Sauce Walka, but he's like, yo, I didn't really even want to do this trip. You wanted me to do it. And, you know, it looks like he's even acknowledging that Sayso's untimely demise may be related to some issues that he had with some other people in Memphis. And from what I'm being told, there is an active warrant out for a person of interest in this case. And they got some camera footage, I believe, this brazen attack was unfortunately not only filmed, but the license plates were still on the vehicle that did it. So they've been able to zone in on a person that they believe to be responsible for this. I see a lot of bad information put out in the atmosphere. I'll just address it really quickly. Rainwater, former manager of Mo 3, and Whack 100, who's a respected West Coast blood. These guys have entered the content space, and I seen them doing like a little live together a couple days ago after this incident with Whack 100 and Sayso P, and I'm sorry, with Sauce Walka and Sayso P. They made it seem like the alleged shooters stood over Sauce Walka and essentially gave him his life because who he was. From the surveillance video that's been released, it's disgusting to watch, but that didn't appear to be the scenario. I don't know why we got so many people. Actually, I do know why. We do got a lot of people in the content space that are flat-foot, getting on camera and lying, getting on live and lying to their followers. Whack 100 and Rainwater are two of the people that do it. I wish I could say it another way. I put my all in this, in that I word, that integrity word. So it's unfortunate. Music journalism is in a terrible place right now, and anybody can walk in and just do it, right? There's no sweat equity you got to have. There's no barrier to entry. And, some of these people got long-standing relationships in the industry where people will believe them. But I would just tell you to, if you can, rely on your journalists and the people that you have trusted for years that have put the work in and showed you integrity over clout. That's what I would offer to you, because that wasn't the scenario that them guys painted. That ain't how that played out for Sauce Walka, at least. I want to thank y'all so much for the time, the love, and support. This is what your boy never take for granted. Again, my deepest condolences to the family of Sayso P during this terrible season. All right, I'm out. If you love flexing your sports knowledge, you should head over to the best place to play fantasy sports and win some money while you're at it. That's Underdog. For me, I love the pick'em game. It's super simple to play too. All you got to do is go to the Underdog website or app. You got to pick whether a player will have a higher or lower stat line for that specific game. You get your picks right, and you can win up to 1,000 times your money. And when you sign up, if you use your boy's promo code, which is Ferro, your deposit will get matched up to $1,000 is available to you in bonus cash. You can't beat that. Tap in with Underdog. My promo code is Ferro.